Good morning, we're on call this weekend and we're heading to an AC condenser making a loud sound. So I'm not sure what that could be yet. About to go find out. Alright, I believe this is the one in question, number 8. Just gonna take the top off first. This was turned off. Oh, it's an oldie. Got no power coming in. Got mosquitoes everywhere. Big old mosquito. And they can bite you through this thin clothes still. You see these older fans never use the capacitor. They go straight to power. You know, actually the first thing I'm gonna do is power it up. See if I can hear where it's coming from. So it's definitely coming from the fan. It sounds like the motor's slipping on the blade, so that's a good sign. Compressor sounds good. What it looks like is we got a shot motor. Look at that. Alright, we're going to take this somewhere with a little bit less mosquitoes and a little bit more room to work. Just before we leave, we're going to go ahead and check this, and it says 25 plus 5. So it's going to be 25 for the compressor, 5 for the fan. Even though the 5 isn't being used right now. This one's working great. This one's working good too. Alright, remember we were talking about this fan does not use a capacitor, so it just uses 240 volt. So it's going to be 230 volt, 2 amps, 1050 for the RPMs, and 1/8 horsepower. What we have here is Trade Pro C25. I think that means like 1 or 2 speeds, which is reversible. Amps are a little bit lower. It does use a 10 cap, which we have, 10 microfarads. But it's going to be a 1/4 horsepower, about the same RPM. Another unit in the middle of demo. Gotta take all this tile out. We're gonna start off with some PB. If it comes out, you can see it going down into the joint. I'm just gonna let you know all my good tools are at home. So if I can't take this off here, we gotta go to the house. Alright, there's plenty of room on the shaft to grip it. Alright, got some turning. Oh, got lucky. So to remove the motor from the cover, 2 screws, and all these do is hide the wire in here. Then there's going to be a base inside. The motor's mounted to this base, and the base is mounted to the cover. So these screws, these screws, these screws, 6 screws. Wire nuts. Alright, so we do have a matching pattern, but it looks like these bolts are going to be too long. They're going to bottom out. They might bottom out because this ledge actually touches the cover. The packaging did come with 4 nuts, and there goes one of them. Now you possibly could put spacers here, which will probably be plan number 2. But I'm going to try to tighten this down the way it is. You can see the bolts are just a little bit too long. We're going to attempt to cut them with a mesh blade made for tile, but it feels pretty rough. I'm missing all my grinder blades. They're all at the house. Success. And now she's sitting on the platform, so we should be good to install this on the cover. And we're just zipping the screws back in. All right, and on the ground goes to the back of the motor. The motor's connected to this bracket, which is connected to the cover. So even if you connected this, it would do the same thing, but we're still just probably gonna stick it on the cover bracket here. Just make sure nothing's pinched. This 1/4 horsepower motor is bigger than that 1/8 horsepower motor by a decent amount. You can see we're all the way at 2 inches at the highest spot. And so we're almost about where we were. We're probably about 1/4 inch higher. Looks like about 2 1/4 to the highest part of the blade. What we're trying to do is get this blade as high as we can without any of the blades hitting the motor. And it's probably gonna be somewhere around there. You wanna make sure this flat spot is lined up with the bolt. All right, so right now we're at that perfect spot where if I give this a 1/4 turn, it'll be tight. You wanna make sure you give yourself a 1/4 inch. That looks pretty good. Okay, so the brown wires go to the capacitor. It's gonna go to 10 microfarad capacitor. These are gonna go under T1 or L1 and L2. You can just take the screw up and stick these wires under. You see they used to have these kind of clips. So you can also just wire nut this together. Clip that back on the contactor. Or you can add some clips onto these wires. And this is gonna be where you can reverse the fan direction. I believe if you have it color for color, looking at the motor from the bottom, it spins to the right. So I think we're correct here. Just gonna zip tie it down. There's a little hole for the wires to go through. Let's get our wires up in the holes. Remember, this is 240, 2 identical legs, so it doesn't matter white or black. Capacitor wires, and these don't matter which one they go to either. We're probably gonna face them both towards the contactor. Alright, before we go any further, we're going to make sure the fan's spinning the right way. It is ready to fire up right now. And we are spinning the right way. And now we're zip tied in a pretty safe spot. We're going through a rubber grommet or plastic here. And this isn't going to hit the compressor or any of the casing. Alright, let's get her fired up. Little bit of vibration. Nice and quiet now. About to tear down some more floor today. Alright y'all, hope that video helped you change your condenser fan motor, or at least gave you some ideas on how to do it. You know, there's a couple variables involved. You see the original motor didn't have a cap, this one had to get a cap, and sometimes you do have to use that triple cap. Every circumstance is different, but this one was pretty smooth, I'd say. Blade wasn't stuck on there. All right, thanks for watching this one, and catch you next time. And there's the part number one more time.